Okay, we're going live.
I think we are live. I think
I,
I've just seen it that we are live. Hi
we
everybody.
are.
We are. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you all. Here we are again on a Monday. We're running a little bit late today, just because we thought we'll try out Facebook rooms on the video side of things. Didn't quite work out how we wanted it to work out. So here we are again.
Well, the best laid plans, but we are here, and I'm hoping that there will be people joining us. But either way, if you're watching this on replay, please press pound replay and make a comment. How did this help you? We'd love to know. We want to choose topics that are really helpful to people. So we do our best. And this is the month of February. This is the month typically of love. So today and next Monday the topics are about love. And we thought that this was a really good time to think about, if you don't have someone special in your life, what are the steps you can take to get ready to attract your ideal person? And so we're going to do some basic bullet points, and hopefully this will help you in creating the vibration that will bring your love to you. So Anthea, do you want to start?
Yeah, because this is all about vibration, isn't it, Christina? It's all about feeling good now, and getting yourself prepared and ready. So look, we all want that. Everyone wants that in there. Well, no, I suppose not everyone wants it. Some people are quite happy to just be single. But if you do, I can't make that assumption, to be honest with you.
Right.
But yeah, on our bullet point side of things, look, number one, that we feel, look, this doesn't mean to be that's all in the exact order, but if you can take this and implement them as you see fit for yourself. But if the number one would be to assess your prior relationships, what's gone wrong prior, what's gone right, and write a list of the things that you feel has gone right and is your strong points in a relationship, and write a list of everything that you want in your partner. Writing that list can really help you define and get very clear about what you want. So when you do meet someone, you're not entertaining the wrong person. You're not giving your time and energy away to just anybody, because there's something that I've really got to understand and learn, and it's about vetting your partner. And that all comes down to knowing what you want. So when you do meet somebody, you're very clear on what you want, and you can communicate that. And you can actually take that time to say, okay, I want children, I've met this person, and I'm going to communicate that. And they say, well, I don't want children. So from the off start, that's not for you. And don't make that mistake of thinking you can change somebody and you can get them to change their mind, because a lot of people think that they've met someone, they've come to them, the universe has brought them this person, there must be a reason for it, and they try and they entertain somebody just because they think that over time they'll get to fall in love with them and they'll change their mind about something. No, believe somebody when they tell you what they want, and listen.
Yes.
Take that time to listen, right?
Yes, that is so true. And when you're looking at your prior relationships and you're assessing what went right and what went wrong, you'll notice that a lot of it has to do with communication. A lot of it has to do with needs. And really, if someone is saying to you, I need X, but you don't feel that giving X is how you want to give love, you may find that that the way you feel loved, the way you feel good, is when your spouse or your significant person gives you gifts, or takes you to special events, or
Love language, right?
yeah, love language. You know, there's a wonderful book, The Five Love Languages. I think we've talked about it before. But you'll look at, you know, what was it with this person? You know, aside from some of the anger, get rid of the anger and really take a full assessment of yourself too.
Mm, mm,
Because if you're going into the next relationship not having assessed yourself, then you are missing the point. Relationships teach us stuff. They teach us about ourselves and about others and how to have better relationships each time. So if you don't take the lessons and move the lessons into the next relationship, then you're just recreating the same person, different face, same person,
yeah.
different face.
And then people say, how comes I attract the same person? And I think
Mm-hmm.
I want to make a point on that one. We all attract, absolutely we attract, but it's who you entertain makes the difference. We've got
Yes.
people walking past us all the time, cars, you know, you meeting people at all times, even if you're not stopping to speak to those people, there's always people around. So yes, we're continuously attracting, but who you put your time and energy and give your resources to is a whole new story. So really do define what it is that you're looking for and really take that time to see what was it that went wrong before, how could I show up better, what can I heal in myself,
Mm-hmm.
what, you know, because like Christina just said, if you're turning up to a relationship and you're carrying all this emotional baggage from the previous relationship, it's actually uh, selfish in the wrong way, because nobody has to take that on from you. You can't expect people just to take on your baggage and your emotional and mental baggage in that sense because of the hurt that you've experienced previously. It's like, get yourself ready to be ready to be ready. So when you're ready
Yes,
for it, right? As Abraham Hicks says. And
absolutely.
yeah, and I think that's really important. So we've just covered our point one, to assess your prior relationships and understand what went wrong and what went right and focus on what goes right. And what would you have changed, I think was part of what we just said. What would you have
Mm-hmm.
changed within that? And how can you focus on the change that you want to experience? And then
Mm-hmm.
number three, make a list of everything you want in your partner. Like really go into detail of what it is. Like, you know, if you're somebody that really likes, and I'm going to speak from a female perspective here, let's just say I really like tall, I don't know, 6-footers that have got really dark hair and green eyes, and that's what I really desire and I really love. And then I meet somebody who's 5'5", has got really dark eyes, and they're just not matching my desire. And I just settle for like, and I'm not saying it's about the outside. It's not about the
No,
outside,
this
but
is an
initially,
example.
this
Yeah.
is just an example. I'm just saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, and I decide to go with the person that is completely opposite to my actual desires, then it's going to come to a point where my head's going to be turning to the actual desire that I want. So I'm actually not going to be fully committed to that, because subconsciously I'm already made up my mind. I want the person that looks like this, and I want this about them, and I want that about them, but I've now settled for that. So there will be a point in my life where I do turn my head elsewhere. And then that's not fair to get into that kind of relationship, because I'm now going against what I actually want just to settle for something because I want that. In that moment, I'm like, well, I've met them and, you know, that's it. So yeah, just get very, very clear and don't settle for anything less than what you actually want, and be clear about that.
Well, also, you know, when you do settle, so to speak, and this is not to say that the person you're engaging with is less than, it's just they're not what you have as your idea of what you want. That's when you try to change people and make them into, and it takes you away from looking at yourself, your own needs, and knowing yourself. So when you know yourself, it's much more clear and it again, as Anthea said, it's not about the outside. It's not that you wanted 6 foot tall and dark hair. It's that you wanted certain characteristics and qualities in the person that you attract. So the next most important piece of this is to become the characteristics and qualities that you want to attract. So if your past relationships, that person cheated, then honesty and fidelity are very, very important to you. Are you being honest and loyal in your life in all areas? Now, people tend to say in relationships, at work, in my family, no, who you are in one place is who you are in all places. So if you are telling little white lies to people, if you are, pretending that you're going to go to some event just to appease people, but you know that you're really not going to go, you're afraid to say no. These are indications of where you're not in alignment with your value characteristic of honesty. So it's looking at the deeper issues, looking at the deeper ways that you can be in alignment with the characteristics that you want in someone you love. So fidelity, loyalty, honesty, and that's just one example. What other characteristics? Well, you may want someone who's very affectionate, whether in public or in private, holding hands, putting their arm around you, giving you a hug, and even kissing, whether it's public or private. And that is to you, that means that you are really loved. Well, that is an important quality that you don't want to do without, so how are you giving love to other people? It may not be putting an arm around them, it may be, but in a more platonic way, but honing that feeling of affection for others, even when it's not sexual, not a partner specifically, giving love and making affectionate kindness being a priority of things and ways that you live your life on an everyday basis, so that the person, go ahead, Anthea.
No, sorry, I was just going to say, because if you're showing up and you're an angry, agitated, always like frustrated about things, and you're saying, oh, but I really want someone in my life and I want them to love me, and you're got this anger about you, then that's not the person that's going to come to you. Remember, everybody's a mirror reflection. So when you look at other people and you find what you don't like about them, you got to go back to yourself and look at what is it in me.
Right.
That's now showing it to me. So that's why we always say, come back to self-love, fill up your own cup, show that affection, be that love. When you see people, be smiley, be happy, be good, be attentive, as in if someone needs help them. Anything you can do in your everyday life that helps you feel better and feel good and portrays that love out and emanates that love, then you're going to find somebody who's that. And if, like I said, if somebody turns up and they're not showing any of those attributes, then don't entertain it. Just because it's come to you doesn't mean it's for you. So really, like Christina was just saying, fill up your own cup, do the things, do that side of it, and feel that love for you, and give yourself that love. And go and book a table for yourself and go and give yourself a nice dinner for one. Go out and buy yourself something that you would really wanted, and you've really had your eye on, you really wanted it, you decided, oh, but it's a bit too expensive, or I don't think I should have it, or I don't deserve it, or subconsciously you're being told, no, go and do it, because that's showing yourself self-love. And these will help you prepare to attract your ideal mate and entertain your ideal mate. And that's what it's about, right?
Yes, exactly. It's so true. And the other thing about what you just said that's so important is, if you go out to dinner with yourself, you're treating yourself the way you want to be treated. and you're getting into the vibration of having that person. So, it's really the next step that we wanted to talk about was visualizing and feeling the love. So I'm going to tell a story. I think I've told this once before, but it bears repeating. Is when I was very young, I had a serious boyfriend. I was 18 and he was the love of my life. I'd never had a boyfriend that I was more crazy about. And we broke up. He actually broke up with me. Well, I don't remember exactly. I know that he did something that we just mutually separated, and I was miserable. I was absolutely miserable, and I went to a voice lesson, and the teacher there was very wise, and she said to me, I'd like you to think and feel the emotion of love. Can you do that? And I said, yeah, I can recreate the feeling of love. She said, well, then you don't need him to feel love. So what happens when you're with someone is energetically your auras connect. You have an attachment. And when you break up, some of the pain is the actual separation energetically. But the rest of it has to do with the emotion of love. You thought you needed this relationship to feel the love. You don't need the relationship to feel the love. I know that may sound crazy to some of you, but the truth is, the more you simply engage in feeling love for yourself, for others, for the world, the more you are in the vibration of attracting. So visualizing. And Anthea, I remember you had an experience of being, you even did a meditation where you imagined having your lover and somebody showed up in your life.
Yeah, honestly. And that was it. It was actually quite profound what happened. I started to speak about it and actually spoke of things as if it already happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I really put myself in that feeling. I was very thankful. And I didn't see or didn't feel that there was a partner missing in my life. I actually aligned with that feeling completely and spoke of it as if it already was. And Christina, you actually had the experience with me where I had said previously, and that was to Melissa in the group here. And I'd said to Melissa, oh, can you imagine him being here by the side of me and you guys, and you meet him and imagine him speaking here. And so we just had this conversation with this third person that actually wasn't there, but we made it that he was there.
Yeah.
And then that night I'd done a meditation to actually, just quiet my mind and really feel that feeling, raise my vibration to that level. And I'd done it for, I think we'd had the conversation a few times within a space of about 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 weeks later, somebody showed up. And, it was actually quite amazing. And then that's where you had the experience where I had the visuals of him sitting next to me on screen,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
he was sitting next to me and speaking with you and Melissa and myself.
Yes.
And so that actually, the visual came to life. Everything I experienced exactly what I was saying, exactly what I was feeling, exactly what I'd seen in my mind's eye. And I mean, I've done this with so many things, and I find that visualization is so powerful, because when you have that, look, I'm looking up because I'm starting to get images in my own mind right now, and I can just see and feel certain things. And it's amazing because when you tap into that and you actually can close that gap, so it's not missing in your life and you feel like it's there. And I've heard something of recent, and I think it was Neville Goddard had said, place a ring on your finger. And he said you don't have to keep it there, but just even visually or even mentally just see somebody putting that ring on your finger, and then look at it and really feel like gratitude for what you have and be thankful for it. And that is a really powerful way to attract your ideal partner also. I haven't done it as yet, but I will do that, just because I have to tell myself when I'm ready. And I started to feel like, yes, I'm ready again. I'm ready. So yeah, we'll see how it works out. But yeah, I think visualization is so powerful. You can really tap into it. You can really have fun with it. You can really create all different types of situations. And I tell you another one, another little story here, Christina, where I was abroad in Cyprus, and I had visualized walking down the beach with somebody, and really having a deep connection and conversation and whatnot. And just, I think a couple of days later, I met somebody and was literally walking down the beach with them, having a really great conversation, a really good connection. But I just worked out they weren't for me. But it's amazing how quick the visual comes to life. And that's
Oh
why I
my
was saying
gosh.
you need to
Yes.
vet them, because you can create it very quickly, and it can as in, like, it will manifest very quickly. However, it doesn't mean that just because you haven't gone into all the details, it doesn't mean that the person that shows up is the person for you. Luckily I took a bit of time to understand, and I was like, no, it wasn't for me. But the visual came to life very quickly. So
Yes.
so
Yeah.
just don't.
Well, that's the reason why you said the whole point of making a really solid, what do I want?
Yes, you got to be so clear about that, really,
Yeah,
really solid. And I wasn't clear about that at the time. So
right.
but since then, obviously, I've taken my time to get clear on what I want. And like I said, I'm a person that would just tell myself that I'm ready, and then once I'm ready, I normally get it quite quickly. So yeah, so that's me. But in general, yes,
Well, and that's what
really
we're
take that
we're
time.
trying to teach people, is how to be master manifestors,
Yeah,
because that's how it works, folks. It's the essence feeling of what you want. So if you're stuck on, but it's not here, I can't see it, that's not the point. If you have to see it and touch it for it to be created, then you're in trouble. The key is feeling the feeling you would feel, and seeing the visual in your mind and your heart that you would see if they were here, and getting to the essence feeling. If you have that's not possible going on, then can you just get into the essence feeling, which is when I said give love wherever you can, kindness, love, goodness, get into the feeling of love, because that's how you attract love. And it doesn't have to be that you're giving any kind of relationship love in terms of sex, or that kind of love. You can be giving love, period, to other
yes,
people, and you're staying in that vibration of kindness, love, caring, affection. That will draw the partner to you, along with what we said, making a list of what you want and visualizing and
yeah.
feeling the love. So
It's like even giving the love to your pet, when you're taking that time to hug your dog or stroke your cat or whatever it is,
yeah.
take it and really loving on them, or loving on your children, or loving on, like you said, it doesn't matter where the love goes. You can love on your mobile phone, like be very thankful and love that you have a mobile. It doesn't,
That's
it doesn't
creative.
matter. Yeah, do love my phone. Without my phone, like, I wouldn't be connected to the world the way I am. So
It's
I
true.
definitely love my phone.
It's true.
So yeah, I mean, it's like they're, these are, we wanted to say, like, the top 6 points as such, like, to really get yourself into that. And to close it off, to say, like, like we were just saying, it's feeling like you already have it. Because if you feel like something is missing, you literally are blocking it from coming to you. You're actually putting stuff in the pipes and blocking the pipe from flowing. So you need
Mhm.
to remove those blockages, and the way to remove the blockages is by feeling like it's already is. live your life as if it's already happened. Start speaking about it. Start saying, I'm looking forward to going out for dinner with my partner. I'm looking forward to going out with my friends and their partners, and and start speaking of things how you want them to be. And it's about telling a new story. I mean, we didn't have this as a point, but I think it's just come to mind. Tell the story how you want it to be, and
Absolutely.
not the story of the past. We stand in a fresh new vibration at all times. Every moment we are creating. So just because you might have said something just before, it doesn't mean you can't re-say something and put it into a different way, and put it into a way that's actually going to be beneficial to you in your life. So speak of things in a nice open way, and in a movement forward, like not in a stuck and blocked and I'm looking in my rear view mirror way. We want to look forward, right? We want to see what's coming. We want to have that imagination of what is to come for us, because everything you ask for will become, as long as you get out your own way. And really hope this really hope this helps you.
Absolutely. I want to review just real quickly what those 6 steps are, so that you don't leave here going, now, what did they say? So, and you may want to listen to this again, but step 1, assess prior relationships to get clear on what went right and what went wrong. And what would you have changed is step 2. What would have been different if you had been different, if the relationship could have been what you really wanted? And then make a list of what you really want based on that assessment, based on knowing yourself better. It's really about assessing yourself and how you showed up in the relationship. Make that assessment and make the list of what you really want in a partner and what you want in yourself, in how you're going to be in that new relationship. Step 4 is to be what you want in a partner. So it's not just how you want to show up, but it's also, if this is the list of what you want in a partner, then you become that so that you align your vibration. Step 5, use your imagination. Use your imagination to visualize and see yourself. Anthea gave the example of putting a ring on your finger and imagining that someone is married to you. There are many ways. She visualized walking down the beach with someone and someone came along. So what are you visualizing? And finally, giving love and kindness and affection to your pets, your kids, your family, whatever it is, and just being in that state of love. So those are the 6 steps. And we're so thankful that, even if you're watching the replay, please press pound replay. I want to thank Melissa so much for joining us in the chat. You've made some great comments. And if you're watching this on the replay, please put pound replay and a comment or 2 on how did this help you? What are you going to do differently? How are you going to manifest love in your life? And it may not be that you're looking for an ideal partner. You may already have an ideal partner. Why not use these steps to improve the relationship that you have? So I just want to say, next Monday is another live stream, of course, and it's Valentine's Day. So we can't get off the topic of love. We just have to do the topic
of love. It's all
about
love, my darling.
Yes. So we'll be talking more. We haven't come up with a title yet, but we will, and we'll be helping you even more with how to create more love in your life. And Anthea, is there anything? This Thursday.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, we're going to be diving even deeper into how to really feel that love. We're going to be giving you some deep dive techniques and how-tos. So if you're in the private membership, please show up for group coaching live, because it's going to be powerful.
Very powerful. And I love our Thursday group coaching. Always go deeper and really get those points out there, and the techniques to use, which is the best part, using the techniques. So yeah, on that note, I think we've done I think it's been a really very enjoyable live. as always, and thank you everybody who joined us. And again, please do say where have you joined us from, which part of the world have you joined us even, and let us know you're here. Let us know you've watched and you've been part of this, and if it's made a difference to you, and how can anything that we can speak about that you would like us to talk about too. It's always nice to hear your perspective on things, and what things that you're experiencing that you'd like to know a little bit more of. So yes, please do. And on that note, I want to send love and light to everybody, and thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Bye, everybody.
See ya.